Many of our religious institutions obviously are community-based organizations, so they open their doors, they're welcoming to all people in the actual neighborhood. So while they have a congregation, what I think is so amazing about the faith-based community in New York City is that they really embrace the whole community.
Religious institutions have helped to make Connecticut a better place in too many ways to count. Religious institutions operate charities, soup kitchens, thrift shops. They work to reintegrate people who leave jail. They operate hospitals. Religious groups and are really foundational to our communities.
We often don't realize that the cracks that government and families leave open, our religious institutions are filling. If you didn't have a faith-based or religious institution for people to attend, you would not be able to fill those emotional gaps, those physical gaps, and those gaps that are in need.
One thing that I have seen repeatedly is faith-based organizations open their doors to the neighborhood. You can go to a house of worship, and in the afternoon you'd see young people doing after-school programming. There are many who do pre-K. There are many who feed the neighborhood. There are many who help out when there is an emergency. So it's really the opening of the doors to bring people into their house of worship.
One of the things that we've seen recently is how houses of worship have been at the forefront of addressing homelessness in New York City. So last year, we created a program called Opening Doors, where we had houses of worship that had underutilized space overnight, whether it's in their congregations, in their temples, mosques, or synagogues, to house the homeless overnight. We also made sure that we connected them with critical services in order to restore the individual and get them back on their feet. Houses of worship are predisposed to serve individuals, and this is just one of the many examples that we've seen on how houses of worship have stood up to serve.
Religious groups in New Jersey have made New Jersey a better place. Just recently, Sandy impacted so many people throughout our state. And I remember a community, Highlands in Monmouth County, where there were 1,500 people impacted, 1,250 homes, impacted in a real and significant way. And it was religious groups that were the first to answer the call. It was the individuals who came in to help in people's time of need.
This usually happens during times of tragedy or during times of crisis. Religious leaders have a unique ability to be able to transcend divisiveness when they focus on the things that unite them as opposed to the things that separate them.
Good, sound values come from lots of different sources, but none more so than the religious institutions in our society because of the commitment of the different religious institutions to helping others. That's the core. It seems to be the thing that unites all the different religious institutions. And by instilling those kinds of values in young people and getting the participation of everybody, young and old, it helps build the community and with it the community values, the quality of life.
Going into an area and bringing people together is an extraordinarily important part of so many people's lives who come together, have a shared experience, are able to say there are ways we can make in our own lives, make our families better, in our own lives make our communities better, in our own lives make our neighborhoods better. That type of daily or weekly conversation is important for every citizen. And it's a very important part of who we are as a society.
Religious institutions provide hope to individuals that need it most.
Religious groups have many ways that they can continue to contribute to our communities. They can continue to provide inspiration and leadership. They can continue to be rushing in when many other people are rushing out. They can lead conversations in difficult circumstances that many other people are unwilling to lead.
Probably at the cornerstone of being a good citizen is to respect your fellow man or woman. And that is not something that you can be told just as a child and expect to hold on to that belief throughout your life. Religious institutions each week or during the week reinforce that belief over and over again, and that is reinforced continuously. Practice makes perfect, and a perfect religious practice makes you a perfect person to share the love of God.